Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT, and today we are ruining Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. So in case you're unfamiliar, around GOAT format, there was a huge comprehensive ban list. See, Konami had gotten frustrated that a significant amount of decks looked very samey. Before you started playing, you put the same 15 or 20 cards in your deck. Individuals who still play the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game might recognize this is strikingly similar to how we build decks now. You're jamming in maybe 20 pieces of the same non-engine, Ash Blossom, Crossout Designator, Effect Veiler, Infinite Impermanence, before you even start playing. So the other day, someone asked on Twitter what would happen if we banned all of the cards that are seeing high play rates. I realized this was an opportunity to capitalize on the people that are always mad about hand traps and Ash Blossom, so I organized a tournament. Give me your best deck without playing any card that currently sees a play rate of over 15%. Here's what we ended up with. So this is going to include a ton of staples, obviously Ash Blossom, Imperm, extra deck stuff like SP Little Knight, but also pretty much every card in some of the top decks. Snake Eye Ash, Flamberge, Diabellstar, one of the perks of being in a Tier 0 format. I've also included a couple of cards that I think are specifically kept in check because a lot of the cards that are on the 15% or higher list are available, things like Branded Fusion or Big Welcome Labrynth, that are uniquely weak to cards like Ash Blossom and Ghost Bell, as well as some cards I just hate, the remaining Floodgates, Super Poly, you know. Let's see what you all came up with. Now, we picked 16 individuals from that Twitter thread you just saw to play in a best-of-3 bracket tournament. I'll spare you the top 16 and go directly to the top 8. It was a lot of what you would expect. The top decks playing without some of their most powerful tools. After just one round, they had fallen to decks like this. Shrug played a Dark World deck. In a world where, well, basically all of the hand traps have been banned, a deck that is basically kept in check specifically by the existence of Droll and Lockbird and the Bystials sure seems pretty powerful. Ease played Fluffle. This strategy makes use of its specific hand traps that won't be on that 15% list. The availability of cards like Herald of the Orange Light and also Edge Imp Scythe means that it has a distinct advantage where other decks falter. Okay, so I banned specifically Big Welcome Labrynth, but there's a pretty good argument that even with only Welcome Labrynth, a deck that is currently kept in check by two very specific hand traps is really good. JJPM entered with Pendulum, saying, well, if you take all of the non-engine out of the top decks, this deck is basically all gas. Speaking of, a significant amount of non-engine is answers to cards that are really, really difficult to interact with. One of those decks is Raidraptor, which now has access to the 3 towers board that very few decks have the capacity to play through. And in a world where your unexpected die is going to resolve, Rika seems like a pretty obvious choice. Yubel or Fiend Link is a top-performing deck that did not actually get any hits on the 15%er, and because Half misses my friend, they wanted to prove that even without any of the non-engine that people are jamming right now, you can still make a deck that's mostly non-engine work. Here's Zoo. Let's see how they did. First up is Yubel versus Dark World, and as you can see, the Dark World player is going first, but Yubel is making use of a couple of the hand traps that escaped judgment, like Skullmeister. Let's see if it's enough. They're going to begin with a copy of Genta. Genta gets the Gates of Dark World, and what do you know? It's also the card that can be banished in order to pop the Silva. Silva and Genta in sequence summon the Genta, and then Silva in order to summon itself. We'll go Allure of Darkness here and banish this additional copy of Genta, then another Allure, banishing a Rainbow. We'll go Card Destruction here. And we draw our opponent into a copy of DD Crow. We also trigger the graveyard effect of the Unchained Soul of Sarama, which is funny. Saluri to the opponent's side of the field, Saluri effect popping the Silva, and that Silva's getting Mega DD Crowed. That's a 1 for 2, I suppose. A Session here is going to send this copy of Rainbow, and then afterwards we're going to pop this copy of Silva back to the hand for the Rainbow, followed by the Imseti. Afterwards, we'll summon out the Grapha, then activate the effect of the Genta in order to grab a Gates of Dark World. King Sarcophagus comes down next. Let's start discarding. Happy for Imseti. We're going to summon both of those. Then we're going to make a copy of Akashic, pushing back this copy of Saluri. Gates of Dark World again, we're going to overlay for Hieratic Sky Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis. Then afterwards, we're going to bring back this copy of Saluri. That enables a Silva, and we will summon that Silva, putting 2 back, and then going for Rainbow before going for Grapha. We'll go Accession here in order to make this copy of Grapha, and then we'll trigger the effect of the Rainbow for a Grapha, then Mothman. Mothman hits the Mothman here, so they're going to activate the effect of the Mothman and pitch this copy of Silva, which then can be summoned to their side of the field. From here, they're going to go back into Rainbow, trigger the effect of the Danger Chupacabra, pop this copy of Imseti, summoning itself, and Allure of Darkness to draw some additional cards. Next up is Security Dragon. Here's a fun fact. You can use that Security Dragon in order to get that sucker back in the hand. And then, of course, afterwards, we can activate the effect of the Dark Corridor in order to add a Snow and pitch the Saluri. Saluri effect is summoned to the opponent's side of the field. Saluri in order to pitch this Silva, and the Silva summons to shuffle the last 2 cards back into the deck. Next, we're going to go for Rainbow into a copy of... wait, how am I supposed to say this? Muckracker? I hope that's right. Then we'll start looping Snows in order to go into Nightmare Griffin. 0 cards in hand. We also need to set up Nightmare Griffin. Pass back to the opponent, they draw for turn, and this probably won't do it. They'll begin with Abominable Chamber of the Unchained. That will enable them to use Grapha to clear the Saluri, and of course, the Piri Res map is not going to be able to accomplish much. They're going to go ahead and get this copy of Samsara D Lotus, which will trigger in order to get a Spirit of Yubel and pass turn. From here, the Dark World player will be able to draw and should be able to clean this up pretty easily into Nightmare Unicorn as a concession comes down. I fucking love Dark World, guys. Holy shit. Time for game 2, and you can see the Dark World player boards into the Rescue Ace Fire Attacker so that they can get it off of a copy of Impulse and potentially draw and discard cards on the opponent's turn. That's so funny. Taking notes from, of course, Dual Taining. We're going for the Yubel combo here, of course. A Dark Beckoning Beast into Samsara D Lotus, into Spirit of Yubel, into Spirit of Yubel effect in order to grab a Nightmare Pain. We already have access to one, but we'll go for Squirmer here, targeting the Pain and triggering the effect of the Spirit of Yubel for Yubel, and of course triggering the effect of Unchained Soul of Sarama, popping the Yubel to summon itself. That triggers Yubel and enables them to get a copy of Tear Incarnate. From here we can go into Yama, into Sharvara, into Yama, into cycle back to Sharvara and set a Chamber. From here we can go Grave Squirmer effect to summon back Spirit, go into Unchained Soul of Rage, go into Topologic Bomber Dragon, and then summon back the Spirit. That will trigger the effect of the Topologic Bomber, which triggers the effect of the Spirit and the effect of the Yama, summoning Yubel and a copy of Dark Beckoning Beast before passing turn. We'll use Yubel in order to eat the Dark Beckoning Beast so it sticks around, then use Samsara D Lotus to summon itself to our side of the field. Their opponent's going to start with a copy of Rescue Ace Impulse into Fire Attacker, into the Lotus. Really funny. We'll go ahead and pop that copy of Yubel and trigger the effect of the Yubel, at which point Shrug is just going to surrender. So it's time for that all-important Game 3, and God, this is boring. Okay, well, looks like the Yubel player has opened nothing but non-engine in a format where we banned all the non-engines, so we'll see. We're going to go Gates and Genba, activate Dark Corridor, that's the one of, and then we'll go ahead and trigger the effect of the Rainbow. Rainbow for Silva, then we'll fire off the Allure of Darkness, drawing 2, and we'll banish that Snow before going for Zephyros. Here we're going to go Dugaris, that's draw 2, discard 1. We'll draw 2 and discard a Snow. Snow's going to trigger for a Saluri, and now it's time to do unfun stuff. We'll go Imseti for a copy of the Sark, then we'll activate the effect of the Sark, pitching the Accession for a Happy. Summon Imseti and Happy, and then we'll go for a copy of the Hieratic Sun Dragon. Let's go for Gates of Dark World in order to proc the effect of the Saluri, and there's 2 cards down. Silva effect here, it's going to summon, and unfortunately does hit the DD Crow. From here, they're going to go into a Chupacabra, summoning it, and then triggering the effect of the Nessie. From here, they're going to activate the Zephyros the Elite, putting back the Gates of Dark World, and then, of course, we can just activate it again later. We'll go Security Dragon here in order to bounce this copy of Saluri, then afterwards we're going to go for the Gates of Dark World, activate the effect in order to give them the Saluri once again, and what do you know, we got a Silva in hand again, so we'll go ahead and trigger that, and get 2 of those suckers back in the hand. Back to a Book of Eclipse and nothing. We'll go Mothman here, it hits the Silva, summon the Mothman, trigger the effect of the Silva, summon it to your side of the field. From here we'll go Allure of Darkness, draw 2, and then afterwards we're going to go Accession, add it back to hand, then activate the effect of the Rainbow. After that we can go ahead and make a Nightmare Unicorn just to clear space, into Rainbow, into Accession, into a copy of Grapha. From here we can activate Grapha to pop the Saluri, and, good luck with your 2-card hand. Nightmare Griffin plus Grapha seems like it's going to make quick work of anything. Really cool stuff. A Cracker here is going to cycle back the Snow into the Rainbow, into a Grapha, into the Rainbow, into the end phase. They'll draw for turn. It's Skullmeister, a little too late. And that's a quick scoop and an advance for Dark World. All right, representing Fluffle, we have got Ease, and representing Raidraptor, we've got GCD, and there's Royal Penguin's Gardener in the opener. GCD is going to begin with a copy of Noir Lanius into a Strangle, into a Pain. They're going to activate the effect of the Noir Lanius in order to grab a copy of Heal Eagle. That will summon it to their side of the field, at which point they can make Wise Strix. Wise Strix here is going to summon a copy of Mimicry Lanius, and here's the first of 4 we're going to see so far. Raiders Knight into Brave Strix. Brave Strix will grab a copy of Raidraptor's Force and a copy of Raidraptor Roost. We'll go Raidraptor Roost here, followed up with a Skip Force in order to turn that sucker into an Arsenal Falcon. From here we can activate Roost in order to get the Glorious Bright into Arsenal Falcon, into Tribute Lanius. We're going to go into a Wise Strix again, which triggers the effect of the Arsenal Falcon into an Ultimate Falcon. We'll go Mimicry into a Strangle Lanius, summon that sucker, then trigger the effect of the Strangle Lanius in order to reborn the Noir. From here we can go Force Strix effect, and of course afterwards we can fire off the Raidraptor's Force in order to rank that sucker all the way up to a Rising Rebellion Falcon. Finally, we'll go Heal Eagle in order to grab that sucker back, then Raider's Wing, at which point we can trigger the Rising Raidraptor's Force into Roost, into Shuffle these suckers back and draw. Finally, we can go Tribute Lanius to send. We'll send a Heal Eagle, go into a Force Strix again in order to grab a copy of Fuzzy. We'll go Bloom Vulture here, summoning it, then we'll summon the Fuzzy. We'll go into a Nightmare, set 4 and pass. What a fun one. They're going to take 1,000 in the end phase. They'll draw for turn. From here, they're going to go into Foolish Burial Goods, sending a Toy Vendor. Toy Vendor triggers and grabs a Wings. We'll go Royal Penguin's Garden to get Fluffle Penguin, hilarious. Then Royal Penguin's Garden in order to pitch a Toy Vendor. We'll go ahead and trigger the effect of the Fluffle Bear here in order to grab another Toy Vendor to set. Then we can activate the on-field effect of the Toy Vendor, pitching the Wings. That hits nothing, so we'll go Wings in order to draw a couple of cards. This is such an unbelievable plus, and where are we going from here? To game 2. All right, this time we're going to see what our Fluffle player can cook, and I'm shocked to see they have, like, Tier Limits cards in the hand. We're going to begin with Patchwork, followed up with a Foolish Burial Goods, sending a Toy Vendor, then Toy Vendor effect in order to grab, of course, one powerful Fluffle monster. We'll go Hard Poly into Cruel Whale. We will trigger the Thesis, along with the effect of Chain and the effect of Royal Penguinman. We will pitch a Tier Limits Merly off the Penguin into a Dragostapelia. Let's normal summon Dog here. Dog for Dolphin into a Cross Sheep into a Repair. Repair is going to special summon back the Fluffle Penguin, which allows a normal summon of the Dolphin. We'll trigger Dolphin here for this copy of Toy Vendor. We will go ahead and overlay for a Bahamut Shark in order to summon Toad. And now that we have the Negate, we can trigger the effect of the Cross Sheep for a Penguin. We'll activate the effect of the Toy Vendor. And afterwards, we're going to go for the Wings in the Graveyard and draw a whole bunch of cards. Foolish Burial here comes down for a Scythe. We'll go Penguin effect in order to get that Octopus. Octopus here in order to cycle back the Scythe, and Royal Penguin's Garden for another Pengu. From here, we can go to a Sprite Sprint into a Sheep effect, and then afterwards we can summon back the Chain into an Abyss Dweller before passing. We'll activate that effect of Book of Eclipse and draw, followed up with a second Book of Eclipse into an Abyss Dweller. So we are going to be able to lock the graveyard here, if nothing else. We'll go Totally Awesome in order to grab back this Dolphin. They're going to begin with a copy of Fuzzy Lanius into Simorg, Bird of Perfection. Banking on no extenders, we just herald that, and unfortunately we have a Strangle Lanius. Sprite Sprint is going to be able to bounce that. Hopefully that's it, and thank God that last card wasn't live. So it's time for that all-important Game 3, and it's important to recognize that here, Fluffle actually gets to flex the fact that it has an on-theme hand trap that Raidraptor lacks. So while this Raidraptor hand is fine, it is going to have to contend with exactly this Edge Imp Scythe, which we are going for immediately, triggering the effect of the Cruel Whale, and the effect of the Cruel Whale, and the effect of the Penguin. We'll activate Repair here and then banish the Scythe so it survives. Then we will go ahead and refill our hand. From here, our opponent's going to go for a Foolish Burial into Bloom Vulture, which we will Herald of the Orange Light. That's gotta be enough. It is! They'll pass turn. Oh my god, is Fluffle gonna walk out of this? Fright for Patchwork, add a couple of cards to hand, fire off the Fright for Fusion. Let's summon that Cruel Whale into Edge Imp Chain, and that is... is that lethal? I think it is with the effect of the Cruel Whale in order to send a Patchwork and go for 39 and 39 once again. Unbelievable. We have done it. Fluffle advances. Raidraptor killed with one stone. So Zoo's an interesting pick for this format because it, of course, lives and dies off the strength of its non-engine, and we banned all the good non-engine. So good luck. Dark Hole Raigeki. maybe that'll do it. All right, our planned player is going to begin with a copy of Sunvine Sowing into a Sunseed Genus Loci into a Mudon. Mudon's going to trigger here in order to grab a copy of Con from deck. They'll go for Con, activate the effect of the Con in order to set a copy of Sheet. From here, they'll normal summon a Cactus Bouncer and pass. Awesome. Well, hilariously, that's one of the few boards that actually loses to Dark Hole. Into Twin Twister, eat the entire field. All right, good luck. Pot of Desires here, draw 2. Upstart Goblin to draw an additional 1, and Pankratops does nothing. We'll just go Ram into Chocodine into Battle Phase, attack in. And are you ready for Zeus, the game, the movie? Okay, this is like a 12 Mad Zeus. That Small World looking pretty good. Pankratops does trade for the Zeus, and then afterwards we can Small World into a Genus Loci, maybe? No, but we could get to Rosalina. That's still pretty good. Aroma Lilith Rosalina into Aramage Laurel into Jasmine. Triggered Laurel, gain 5. The effect of the Jasmine in order to search. Lily Borea is pretty good. We're going to set that Cactus Bouncer in the back row, then activate the effect in order to grab a Therion. Let's go for the Disco. We'll activate Disc Coliseum in order to grab the King Regulus and Aroma Seraphy Jasmine for a Rika Petal. Rika Petal here in order to go ahead and grab a Rika Princess. This goes into Aroma Lilith Rosemary, which gets us a copy of Aroma Blend. Aroma Blend pitching this copy of Regulus into Humid Winds. We're going to go for the Magnolia into the Princess, and from here we can activate the effect of the Humid Winds, taking 1,000, grabbing a copy of Rosalina, then activating the effect of the Rosalina in order to go up 13. That triggers Magnolia. We'll go to battle, and this should be way more than lethal, please. All right, okay, let's go to game 2. All right, time for game 2. I guess Engage is unlimited. That's something. And once again, the Zoo player has elected to go second. Says, I believe in the strength of board breakers. Well, that will be put to the test because we have just opened the combo this time. Sunseed Twin into Dryas will trigger the effect of the Twin into the effect of the Dryas in order to gain 1,000. Here comes Healer. And then a Point of Resolution will trigger the effect of the Healer in order to gain an additional 3. From here we go Jasmine. Jasmine effect to go into Laurel. And then we go into Yanni, triggering the effect of the Laurel and adding 2 cards from deck to hand. Awesome. Let's go ahead and grab this copy of Princess, and we will grab this copy of Lily Boria as well. Lily Boria targeting this healer. And then afterwards, of course, we can go into the Rosemary. Rosemary effect in order to grab Blend. Blend effect in order to grab Humid Winds. And then afterwards, we can activate the effect of the Blend in order to summon out Magnolia. Here comes Jasmine again. Sunseed Twin into Jasmine into Humid Winds. And then, of course, because we took damage, we can go ahead and gain life points, triggering Jasmine again. I love that you can just add 4 over the course of the turn. This seems pretty over. We're going to go Snowdrop into Mudon. Mudon effect. We'll go ahead and grab Con. We'll activate the effect of the Laurel, summoning itself, and then going into a Malias. Malias into the genus Loci. And we'll go for the Rika Princess as well. Why not? Let's go Snowdrop to modulate that to an 8. Let's go, or a 4 rather. Let's go Strenna. Strenna here to cycle the Mudon. We'll go Lone Fire, pitching the Strenna to go into Petal. Trigger the effect of the Strenna and grab a copy of Hyperraton into a Strenna into Petal. Petal here is going to go ahead and grab another Princess into a Bengal Lancer into Con. We'll go Hyperraton in order to equip a spell card as well and pass it back to our opponent. All right, let's see if we can do it. Pank is good. We'll begin Widow Anchor, targeting Hyperraton. That gets the spell negate out of the way, and well, now it's Dark Ruler time. Let's go Pankratops here in order to eat the Con. That's going to be met with the Petal, of course, or the Princess, rather. And then afterwards, they'll trigger the effect of the Strenna in order to go into Teardrop. It's Dark Hole time. Let's eat the entire field. And Engage time. All right, what are we drawing? Those aren't bad. One more draw, maybe? And we'll go Whiptail attached to Chakanine that at least deals with the Bengal Lancer. Humid Winds comes down and, of course, enables us to go to Borbo into Humid Winds to gain life points. We'll go to the battle phase. We get to banish this copy of Bengal Lancer, which is funny. Main 2, you know where we're going, baby. We're going as far into Zeus as we can. We're going to eat the board just to get the Con off field and set 1. At end step, we'll bring back the Petal and draw for turn. Where are we going from here? Okay, Petal effect is going to be met with the Widow Anchor, and we'll take it too. Fuck it. Okay, so down comes Ragnarika, the Evil Seed. That's going to go ahead and do the Ragnarika tumble. We'll go into Mudon, trigger the effect of the Mudon. We do have another Con, which is horrifying, so we have to just go ahead and Zeus now. They'll go Con, and then afterwards going to go Rosalina. Rosalina effect for Jasmine. From here, we're going to go Zeus again, eating the board a 3rd time before Ragnarika Bloom comes down. All right, how far can we go with a 2-card extra deck? Let's find out. We're going to go into Skeletal Soldier, bring back the Evil Seed. And from here, we're going to go to the last card in our extra, Dance Peone. Oh my god, are we just out of guys? We just don't have anything that can kill anyone? All right, we're going to bring back the Skeletal Soldier, and we can't out the 2700 defense. There was too much gas. We had too much gas. We ran out of extra. Oh my god. That's agony. So it's time for that all-important Game 3, and we have elected to go second again! All right, Lone Fire Blossom into a Sunseed Genus Loci, into a Sun Avalon Dryas, into... Oh, boy. Y'all read any good books lately? I don't know. I mean, they're just going to do the combo. We've all seen the combo. Down comes Upstart Goblin. Okay, well, Dark Ruler's a good start, and Regeki is a good follow-up. And we will just go ahead and draw 5 cards. All right. And we, you know what? Actually, just draw a couple more cards also. All right, Whiptail into Borbo. Let's go battle. Main phase 2. You know where we're going. You know where we're going, baby. We're going all the way. Ricochet here. Guess what? We drew Eagle Booster as well. Ah, that's a fun one. And set 5, Paz. Good luck. Good luck. They'll draw for turn. 8 cards in extra. Let's normal summon a Rosalina. That's going to get Widow Anchored, and we got like 18 of these. So, you know what? And they're all offline. We'll go Bengal Lancer here, summon itself. Afterwards, we'll go for the Aroma Blend in order to get a Humid Winds. Humid Winds here is going to trigger. We'll go ahead and grab a copy of Laurel. Mudon here in order to summon itself. They'll activate the effect of the Mudon and grab a copy of Con. Con effect into Book of Moon, targeting the Mudon. Then they'll go Aroma Blend in order to summon out the Magnolia. Magnolia effect, take 2. We'll Zeus here. That'll be met with the Humid Winds. That's fine. They gain 5, and the whole field goes to the graveyard. All right, well, can Laurel get there? Can Cataroost get there? Chakanine here in order to summon back this copy of Whiptail. Then afterwards, we're going to overlay for... Oh my god, we're playing the Xyz armor, guys. Oh, okay, Armored Xyz into Crystal Lancer 0, into Full Armored Dark Knight Lancer, to Armored Xyz, into the effect of Dark Lancer to cycle Armored Xyz. It went down to 900 for that. Chakanine here to attack again for another 34. It's lethal! This deck is so stupid. All right, Labrynth, the deck pretty much kept exactly in check by Ash Blossom and Bell, versus Pendulum, a deck that can consistently FTK if allowed to. They're going to begin with a copy of Waka Ushi. Waka Ushi is going to summon itself and set a copy of Big Ben Kai. Big Ben Kai for the Soul Piercer. Soul Piercer equipped to the Waka Ushi, and will go the effect of Ignis Phoenix. They're going to go Chandra Liger into Backjack, which allows them to get to Terrors of the Overroot and Welcome Labrynth on turn 1. They'll go Waka Ushi here and Ignister Prominence and Super Heavy Samurai Soul Piercer. They're going to go ahead and summon a copy of Ignis Phoenix from deck and then activate the effect of the Ignister in order to force out that Terrors just a little early. They're going to go ahead and activate the effect of the Chandra Liger in Graveyard, which fiends a DD Crow. And then afterwards, we'll go ahead and Pendulum summon the Ignister Phoenix and this copy of Waka Ushi into another Ignister Phoenix. Cool. Let's go ahead and get that last card remaining shuffled back in, and then let's summon a Power Load. Let's go into Beyond the Pendulum effect. In order to add a scale back, we will just go ahead and scale it, and then let's go ahead and special summon out this copy of Dynamite. We will go Odd Eyes Rev in order to bring back Ignister Prominence. Damn, this shit is really not once per turn. Into Majesty Pegasus. Let's go for a Sky Iris here. Sky Iris here is theoretically going to set scales. We'll go Codebreaker Virus Swordsman into Virus Berserker into Zero Day into Virus Swordsman into Sky Iris, pop the last remaining scale for Rev Dragon into Firewall Dragon Singularity. That's what you want to do with all this power. You want to make Firewall Dragon Singularity. Baguska! You want to make Firewall Dragon Singularity. You have been given the strength to FTK. You want to make Firewall Dragon Singularity Baguska. Well, it's paying off here because we get to return all the traps to the hand. All right, a Backjack here is going to reveal off the top. It's unfortunately not a trap. We will Singularity, forcing out that last trap card. It's Dogmatic Punishment, but I think that doesn't do anything. Entis on the Singularity, at least, is something. We'll go Ignister Phoenix in order to summon another one. Luster Pendulum here. Let's go into Beyond the Pendulum. Beyond the Pendulum here is going to go ahead and grab a copy of a high scale Ignis Phoenix, and we will set this Astrograph Sorcerer. Down comes Arias, and we will set this copy of Trap Trick. We can activate the Trap Trick. Okay, all right, we're going into Destructive Daruma Karma Cannon. That, you know, that doesn't actually do what you want. We can still perform a Pendulum summon. We'll go Sky Iris to pop this Ignis Phoenix into a Rev Dragon. We'll activate the effect of the Ignis Phoenix in order to grab a Dynamite Power Load. Overlay for a Magister Paladin, the Ascending Draco Slayer. Let's go ahead and summon out back that Ignis Phoenix into battle. 17, 1850. Then in main phase 2, we can overlay for a Zeus and pass turn. We will resolve the effect of the Majesty Phoenix. Draw a card. Wow, Kuklok's not a bad one, but it's not good enough. All right, time for Gate. What the hell is that? Sauge de Fleur. God, you ban all the non-engine and these people will find more of it. All right, so let's begin with a copy of Kuklok. We will activate the effect of the Chandra Liger in order to set Lab. We'll activate Kuklok here. We'll go ahead and special summon it. Then we'll activate Lab. We will set a card. Oh, it's Welcome Lab. Let's go ahead and summon Ariane. We'll activate the effect of the Ariane in order to get an Ariana, and the effect of the Ariana in order to grab a Welcome Labrynth. We'll overlay for a Baguska. Eat that, you stupid Pendulum man. All right, we're going to go Curtain Raiser here. Curtain Raiser effect to summon itself, and Sauge for the back row, it is Welcome Labrynth. They're just going to go ahead and get the Lady Lab here. Afterwards, they'll summon the Sauge de Fleur. Down comes Welcome Lab and Chandra Liger. This seems pretty over. We'll go Rev here. That's going to grab us Luster. Luster Pendulum into Beyond the Pendulum. We will take 12 here. Let's go ahead and grab a copy of, oh my god, Bunbuku. We're just playing everything. We're playing Spider Orchid as well. We'll go Spider Orchid and Big Benkai. Then we will Pendulum summon the Bunbuku and the Luster Pendulum and the Dynamite Power Load. The Beyond the Pendulum enables you to, oh my god, pop the Baguska. We're totally in it. Okay, Ignister Prominence now comes down. We'll go for Ignister Prominence into a copy of Ignis Phoenix. Ignister Prominence in order to pop the Ignis Phoenix and get this Lady Lab off. Then we're going to trigger the effect of the Exceed the Pendulum here in order to put back this copy of Ignister. We'll activate the effect to special it out, and then we're making another Ignister Prominence. You know it, baby. We're going to special out this copy of Luster Pendulum, and we're going to get rid of that last card here. We're going to get rid of this Benkai and that Kuklok. We'll go into a Codebreaker Virus Swordsman. Oh my god, I can't believe it. We're going to win. We'll go to Virus Berserker. Virus Berserker, summon back Zero Day, summon back Virus Swordsman into Firewall Dragon is back and bigger than ever. And Lab player concedes. Pendulum advances. So we're about to enter top 4. Fluffle, Dark World, Pendulum, and Zoodiac all remain. 3 decks looking to play very little Yu-Gi-Oh! And one that's just non-engine. Here we've got our Fluffle gamer versus our Dark World gamer, and thankfully the Fluffle gamer has won the die roll, so we will get to see a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Today. Garden into Bear, into Toy Vendor. We'll go ahead and flip up that Toy Vendor and draw off the Toy Vendor pitch. Unfortunately, an Edge Imp chain. We'll trigger the effect of the chain and the effect of the Toy Vendor. We're going to grab a copy of Dolphin and a copy of Patchwork. Patchwork here is going to grab an Edge Imp Scythe and a Poly. We'll go Penguin to summon Dolphin. Dolphin here to cycle the Toy Vendor again. And we'll pitch that Wings. We'll go into Bahamut Shark here, into a Totally Awesome, into Wings, targeting Bear. That's going to pop the Toy Vendor and plus us just to infinity here. We'll go Foolish Burial Goods to send a Toy Vendor graveyard. We'll activate the effect of the Toy Vendor and grab a copy of Dog. We're going to activate Polymerization here in order to summon a copy of Cruel Whale's Thesis. We'll trigger the effect of it and the effect of the Pengu as well. We'll pitch another Foolish Burial Goods, then repair into the Pengu, into the Dog. Dog here is going to grab from deck to hand a copy of Sheepy, and then we're going to go into a Cross Sheep of our own. Sheep comes down, it's pointing to a Cruel Whale, so we can bring back the Pengu. Sheep to bounce the Dog, and then afterwards we can summon out the Edge Imp Chain into an Unchained Soul of Yama. Yeah, there's good cards in here. We're going to go for the effect of the Penguin in order to summon out the Dog once again, and then we're going to go for an Abyss Dweller into Sharvara, target the Toy Vendor. God, that's strong as hell. Okay, Toy Vendor here, and then we'll go into a Rage, Sharvara in order to set from deck an Escape of the Unchained, and finally end on a Sprint, sending a Merly, I'd imagine. Merly here is going to enable a copy of, you guessed it, Dragostapelia. Hell of an end board, by the way. Hell of an end board. All right, good luck winning without your graveyard, asshole. All right, we'll go for the effect of Choop. It hits itself into Nessie hitting itself. Easy. So it's time for game 2, and the Fluffle player has drawn one piece of interaction. That's something. All right, King Sark time. King Sark, let's pitch this Imseti for a happy. Allure of Darkness here. We're going to go ahead and draw some cards. We'll bring back the Imseti. We're going to go into the Zombie Vampire. It's Desperation time. What did we hit? Actually a whole lot of nothing. That could have gone way worse for the Fluffle player. They're going to go Herald on this effect here, and unfortunately, it's just not enough. That Dugaris is going to do it. They'll draw 2, discard 1. It's Nessie. They're going to go ahead and grab a Mothman, then fire off Genta. Genta just such a strong card. Into Allure of Darkness here, probably banishing the Mothman. Yep, and then we're going to go Gates of Dark World. We're going to banish the Genta for this Rainbow. Rainbow triggers, Genta triggers, it'll summon itself. And then afterwards, we can activate the effect of the Rainbow to summon itself. Genta here grabs another Gates, not once per turn, by the way, into the effect of the Gates in order to pitch this copy of Saluri. Saluri to the field, and guess what? We have a Silva in hand now. Summon itself and shuffle 2 of them back. Just got to make that happen one more time. Dark Corridor for a Grapha, pitches Snow. Snow is going to grab a copy of Accession into Silva, into Grapha, into McCraker. This Accession is going to make a Grapha into a Grapha, pop the Saluri, and then of course afterwards we can summon out the Grapha and activate Mothman. Mothman. That boy's up to something. Well, we can pitch the copy of Toy Vendor here, which does trigger it and get them to Dog. Then we'll go into, of course, McCraker, summoning back this copy of Saluri. From here, we'll put it back in the hand, then activate Accession and activate the effect of the Saluri to summon it to our opponent's side of the field into a Silva. That's right, you were still starting with 0 cards in hand. What a fun game. We're going to go into Nightmare Unicorn, into Grapha, into Griffin, into Pitch, into Reset Dark Corridor. Why not? Set 1 and pass. Draw for turn. It's going to get Grapha no matter what it is. Damn good card, but not good enough. So it's time for that all-important Game 3, and oh my god, the Dark World player has drawn interaction. Holy shit, he drew Rescue Ace Impulse. All right, let's go. Okay, we're beginning with Foolish Burial Goods, send Toy Vendor. Toy Vendor effect, we're going to go ahead and grab Dolphin. We'll normal summon the Dolphin, activate the effect, and afterwards we are just going to go ahead and send a Wings. We're going to special summon the Sheep, pitch the Dolphin, and it's Impulse time. Impulse into Fire Attacker. All right, what are we doing here? Edge Imp Chain into Cross Sheep. Edge Imp Chain is going to be able to trigger the Fire Attacker. Here we go. What are we popping? We can pitch the Grapha. That pops the Cross Sheep. Yo, it's crazy. It's like a bootleg copy of Herald. Oh my god, and they drew into another piece of non-engine in Baldrake. Wait, this deck is crazy. All right, okay, afterwards we're going to go Fluffle Bear in order to set a Toy Vendor. We'll go Toy Vendor effect. Afterwards we'll activate the effect, pitching a Toy Vendor into Octopus. Pretty sick rip. Into Toy Vendor into Pengu. Pengu effect in order to summon out this Dolphin. And we're going to make it Bahamut into Toad. All right, I hope you didn't really like that Baldrake. All right, time for Polymerization. They're going to make a Cruel Whale's Thesis into Cruel Whale, into Penguin, into Cruel Whale. We're going to go ahead and send a Repair and draw a couple of cards. One of them is Orange Light. And we'll pop the Toy Vendor too. Why not? We'll go for Repair in order to special out this Dog, activate Dog into Bear, and we'll go for Keldo pitching Bear. That's so funny for Mudora. All right, Magusker in attack into Unchained Soul of Yama. It's a fiend. Oh my god, this deck is silly. All right, we're going Rage. Okay, what are we going to do here? Beginning with Impulse. We're going to activate the effect of the Impulse. That's crazy. It fiends out the Toad. We'll take the Impulse, of course, and then afterwards we're going to activate the Toad in order to grab back this copy of the Pengu. They're going to go for Genta into Gates of Dark World, into, of course, Escape of the Unchained. Let's go ahead and pop that sucker into Yama, into Rage. Oh my god, Rage is crazy. It enables you to get the the Scythe back in hand. They go for the Baldrake, but we do have the Herald, so the Scythe is going to be in grip, as is the Rage. Mothman here is going to unfortunately hit itself. That puts them down a card. They'll pitch Snow. Snow enables Accession. They'll go Accession here into Keldo. That should be all she wrote, and afterwards they are just going to go ahead and activate Accession's Graveyard effect, pitching this Rainbow. Rainbow enables an access to Grapho. They're going to go for Scythe at end of main into Cruel Whale, into Fluffle Octopus as well. That's going to allow them to put a bunch of cards back at the graveyard, eat the board, and draw for turn. This should be the end of the game. Frightful Patchwork into a Polymerization and an Edge Imp Chain, into a Polymerization, into a Guardian Chimera, into a Merly, into an Accession, into a Keldo once again. Back in the graveyard. Let's go. That does still resolve because the Grapha's in hand. We'll go into Dragastapelia, and they're going to trigger the effect of the Grapha and the big Grapha as well, but Mudora makes quick work of all of that. We at least do get to pop this copy of Dragastapelia, which unfortunately for them triggers Yama. 33 plus whatever, an additional 1,000 or 2 should be enough to clean up this game. That was crazy. I hate the shufflers. Our other top 4 matches, Pendulum versus Zoodiac, and you could have fooled me. God, look at that hand. That's a thing of beauty right there. All right. Let's see who this Pendulum player's got cooking up. I imagine they're going to normal summon Scully, Skullcrobat Joker, for a copy of Odd Eye's Rev Dragon. That's cool. Power Load and Ignister. They're going to go ahead and activate the effect of the Power Load in order to summon the Ignister into Beyond the Pendulum. They're going to activate that effect in order to grab a Majesty Maiden, or Pegasus rather. They're going to set that and Pendulum summon 1, 2, 3 cards, and then activate the effect of the Majesty Pegasus for another. Next, they're going to overlay for Bagoosker and pass turn. Cool. All right, draw for turn, and, Upstart Goblin leads the way, and hey, what do you know? That resolves all of our standing problems. We're going to go Pankratops into Raigeki. They'll trigger the effect of the Soul Piercer. That's something. We'll go Battle Phase, the Pankratops effect, main phase 2, set 2, pass turn. Okay, don't think that this is really going to be enough. We're going to go Pankratops here in order to pop the Majesty Pegasus into Majesty Pegasus. We knew we had that. Into Skullcrobat Joker, into Odd Eye's Revolution Dragon, into Odd Eye's Revolution Dragon, into Luster. They're going to Pendulum summon 1, 2, 3, 4 cards into this card. We're just going to start Ignistering. That's going to eat a Widow Anchor, which is something. They do get to take it here into another Ignister, which is also something. They're going to special summon Ignis, then activate the effect of the Ignister, pop the Ignis in order to get that guy back in the extra deck into Ignis, into Luster Pendulum. We'll go Power Load here into Twin Twister. That's a cool Twin Twister, right? Not cool enough because we do still have plays, shockingly. Revolution Dragon here is going to be able to cycle back for Ignister Prominence in order to summon a Draco Slayer. We're going to go for Dynamite Power Load into Dinoster Power. We will go ahead and activate the effect of the Dinoster Power to summon out the Luster Pendulum into the Cross Sheep, and then we'll just go to Battle Phase with our slightly boosted monsters. That's what you're using Cross Sheep for the attack points? All right, every one of these zoo hands makes me giggle. Oh no! Oh no! This may be over before it begins. All right, obviously we're going to lead Curtain Raiser, and we'll special it to our side of the field. Next, we're going to activate Wakaushi. Activate the effect of the Wakaushi in order to summon itself, and a Big Benkai. Big Benkai time. We'll go ahead and grab this copy of Soul Piercer. We're going to activate the effect of the Soul Piercer on the Wakaushi into an Ignister Prominence, into the Wakaushi, into the Soul Piercer. We're going to scale the Wakaushi, and then afterwards we're going to trigger the effect of the Ignister Prominence, and we will summon the Majesty Pegasus. We're going to go Majesty Pegasus here for a Sky Iris. Then we'll go into Beyond the Pendulum. We'll activate the effect of the Beyond the Pendulum in order to grab an Astrograph. Then we'll Pendulum summon 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Afterwards, we're going to go Exceed the Pendulum. Exceed in order to grab back the Wakaushi into this stupid thing. Virus Swordsman, into Zero Day, into Virus Berserker, into Zero Day, into Virus Swordsman, into Firewall Dragon is back, and he's bigger than ever. Sky Iris popping Wakaushi enables us to get Revolution Dragon. We're going to activate Revolution Dragon and use it to cycle back this copy of Ignister Phoenix. We'll activate Prominence here in order to summon from deck a copy of Luster Pendulum. We're going to go ahead and pop this Ignis Phoenix to pop the Big Benkai. That triggers the Ignis Phoenix and the Astrograph Sorcerer. God, how are we not done? We'll special the Astrograph Sorcerer, grab another copy of that Rev Dragon, and go into a Cross Sheep. Wait, what the fuck? Wait, hold up. Is that the V-Link? Wait, what? We U-linked him? Holy moly. All right, I guess our board's full now. We decided we didn't want it. We're going to go Bagooska instead. Wait, what are we doing? There's no reason to do this. And we're finally going to end on Secret Village before passing turn. Good luck, asshole. Oh, my God. That might be the worst game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I've watched this year. That's unbelievable. Well, we have made it all the way to the final. It turns out when you take all the pieces of interaction out of the format, the two decks that rise to the top are apparently Fluffle, which has its own in-archetype hand traps, and Pendulum, which just does not play Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, so for the final, it looks like our Fluffle player is going first. They have drawn a hand that includes Eldritch the Golden Lord. Happy Pride, by the way. We're going to go FB Goods. This hand looks pretty weak. You don't really want to find Eldritch that early, and that FB Goods is looking real sus. We'll go Toy Vendor here. I imagine we're pitching the Eldritch, yeah, and we hit a Herald. They're going to go ahead and DD Crow the Eldritch, so we can't even eat the Toy Vendor. We're going to go Dolphin here in order to target the Toy Vendor. We're going to have to pick something good off this Wings. We'll go into Bahamut Shark, into Toad. Here we're going to go for the Wings, targeting the Bear. We will go ahead and, find an Edgimp Chain and a Poly. That's not bad. Poly here is going to get us to a Cruel Whale's Thesis, into an Edgimp Chain, into a effective Cruel Whale in order to send a copy of Tiger here. We'll get the Repair and go for the Repair, targeting the Tiger in order to get the Chain back, then Royal Pengu's Garden for a Penguin. From here, we'll go into Yama. Yama effect is going to grab us a copy of Sharvara. We'll go into a Sprint. Sprint effect is going to send Murley. Murley's going to translate into a copy of Dragostapelia, and then afterwards we can activate Sharvara, targeting the Toy Vendor we have set to trigger the effect of the Yama and the Toy Vendor as well. We'll grab Octopus here and summon back the Chain into Rage. Sharvara here sets a copy of Escape, and then we can just go ahead and set the goods. We were able to make that work. I'm pleased. We'll lead Skullcrobat Joker. That's going to get Dragostapelia. Okay, Wakaushi time. I imagine that's getting negated. No, we're going to let it resolve. We're letting it happen. We're going to go Rage here, targeting the Wakaushi, though, in order to go into Nightmare Unicorn, and that's going to be a concession. So it's time for game 2, and oh my god, wait, we have cards for going first. Judgment. Okay. All right, so looks like we are actually going to have to play against something. We've got the Curry Car, we've got the Edgimp Scythe. We're going to go Curtain Raiser into Wakaushi. That's going to prompt the Scythe. We're going to go Cruel Whale here. Cruel Whale here is going to chain to itself, sending a Repair, and we're going to prevent its destruction. They're going to go into Beyond the Pendulum here in order to grab a copy of Maiden. We'll scale Maiden, we'll scale this Ignis, and then I imagine we'll start Pendulum summoning. Let's get out 1, 2 of these bad boys, and then we'll trigger the effect of the Maiden for a Dinoster. We'll go for the Ignister Prominence. Let's go ahead and special summon this copy of Pendulum Man. Then we'll activate Ignister in order to, I imagine, shuffle this bad boy back. Ignis is going to translate into a Majesty Maiden, into a Dynamite Power Load, into an Exceed the Pendulum. Exceed the Pendulum here is going to get us back this copy of Ignis Phoenix. We'll go for the Majesty Pegasus, into Secret Village of the Spellcasters once again. Secret Village plus Exceed plus Abyss Dweller. Devastating. We're going to go Abyss Dweller here. That's a good draw, but not fantastic. We're going to lead with Curry Car Div Incarnate. That's going to force out the Solemn because otherwise it contests the Exceed and turns on spells. We're going to go for Keldo here into Mudora. We're going to overlay for Baguska, go to Battle Phase, walk over this card, and then Zeus the remaining board. All right, you do what you have to, I guess. FB Goods the Toy Vendor, and we will pass turn. Of course, we are still under this copy of Abyss Dweller. Pass turn again, and after all this nonsense, we have somehow found ourselves at parity. Wait, they're 100 off with the normal summon. 0 Day coming in hot. They're going to set it. Draw for turn. I guess you go for it. Sky Thunder into Astrograph Sorcerer. Okay, we can't clear that. Drawing for turn. That's a good one. We're going to set one card and pass turn. Draw for turn. It's Edgimp Scythe. We're going to normal summon Herald into Sprint. Oh, this might be it. Sprint into Herald into Repair. Special out the Scythe. Go to the battle phase. Over the Astrograph. And we take 100. No, we're still in it. Okay, we're still playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Draw for turn. It's Skullcrobat. That's crazy. Okay, Skullcrobat here gets a copy of Rev Dragon. We're going to scale the Rev Dragon. We can't activate its fucking effect because it takes 500. We're going to go for the Keldo here. Shuffle everything back. That Rev Dragon's useless, but this Magister Paladin probably isn't. We'll go ahead and activate its effect, but oh no, the Sprint is on! I can't believe it. I can't believe that's what it came down to. Oh. And your winner is Fluffle. So what did we learn here today? Well, if you ban all the good cards, it does shake up the meta. But it just replaces that annoying meta with a second annoying meta. And if you take hand traps out of the format, the decks that rise to the top invariably play their own stupid in-archetype hand traps. What I'm trying to say is, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not only broken, it broke so long ago we can no longer do anything about it. And now cards that are incredibly irritating, like Ash Blossom and Droll and Lockbird, have become load-bearing. Bye!